Maroon 5 with Sugar. My guest of the day is a personal favorite. Of that, there is no doubt.
94.3.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Abhishek Bachchan, congratulations on 20 years of business.
Thank you, my man. How are you?
Excellent. Now listen, some of us old dinosaur journalists and radio presenters have very fond memories with you, so you're going to allow me to just go back in time. I still remember walking up to you at Liberty Cinema during the premiere of your first film, Refugee, and congratulating you, complimenting you, saying you were fabulous, you were fantastic, and you'd replied, I remember, asking me if I'd loved the film, and the film overall as opposed to just my role. And I said, I thought that was a really telling comment. So the project is always bigger than the role at the time. Is it still that way? Is Breathe still bigger than the psychiatrist, the role that you're playing today?
Oh, most definitely, Hrishi. I have my own story about you as well. So if you indulge me, if I'm not mistaken, it was at the premiere of Fizza.
Oh my God, you have an elephant's memory.
Yeah.
This is, New Excelsior. Your mom and you were on stage. Yeah.
Yes. And I remember when you introduced my dear childhood friend Hrithik. And, Hrithik was this huge megastar at that point of time. And, this was his next release after Kaho Na Pyar Hai. And I remember you spoke so genuinely, lovingly towards him. And I remember thinking that, hey, I got to work really hard so that I get this opportunity with Hrishi someday as well. And I remember promising myself that as I watched the film. So that was my first, in that sense, thing that I held on to with regards to you. I mean, subsequently, obviously, we've met several times and worked together, done a lot of interviews, and it's always been a pleasure. But to come back to your question, Hrishi, that's always the case. That's never going to change. And the day that changes, it will be tragic. The day you put yourself ahead of the movie, the show, the project, you're going to be in big, big, big trouble. At the end of the game, it's the end game, right? Where nothing compared to what the story is. And it has to be about that. There's no point in me being brilliant in a project which people don't like, because then it's kind of an exercise in futility after that. So it's always been about the project. And even now, even after 20 years, even though it's a new medium for me, it's my foray into a new medium. It's always going to be about breathe first. Does the show work for the audience?
Lovely. I've always marveled at mental health practitioners and psychiatrists, how they go about their business. In particular, what great listeners they are, Abhishek. Did you have any references to go by? Did you consult with any psychiatrist,
Yes. Obviously during the show, I have to say that this show isn't about a psychiatrist. The character is a psychiatrist. That's the background of him. But yes, Mayank's brother-in-law is a psychiatrist. Mayank is the director, co-creator and writer of the show. And also we had 2-3 doctors that we interviewed extensively before doing anything with regards to psychiatry. Because obviously you need to be responsible and you don't want to misrepresent anybody. So yes, there were several doctors that we spoke with.
Do you read a script end to end, especially something like this, which has so many twists and turns? Do you allow yourself to go with the twists and turns? So what is it? How does it flow? You look at your...
I don't enjoy reading scripts. I prefer to be narrated a script.
That's actually nice, in something like this.
You know why, Hrishi? Because I think when you read a script straight away, you read it from your perspective and you read it selfishly as an actor. I think it's important that you hear the director's vision, because at the end of the day, it is a director's medium. And you hear their vision of it, their perspective of it, and then you should read it.
But on the morning of, let's say, you're going to film whatever, scene number 3, scene number 4, you do go through those lines in the car, in the back seat or wherever, just before you get on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Absolutely. It's very important. I mean, obviously you have to learn your lines, and that kind of professionalism obviously comes with the territory, and that's something you should be doing any which way. But it's important, not only just the scene you're doing that day. I prefer to read the scene before and the scene right after.
The incredible Abhishek Bachchan. This interview with him shall continue. But first up, it's the boys from 5 Seconds is Summer singing Don't Stop. I'm Hrishikesh, and you're tuned into 94.3 Radio on One World, your station. Drake with a defining song along with Majid and Jordan. That's Hold On, We're Going Home. Abhishek Bachchan returns 20 years in cinema, and he's still raring to go. Breathe Into the Shadows, the original series, releases tomorrow on Amazon Prime. I'm in an enthralling conversation with Abhishek.
94.3.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
What is your biggest fear as a father, as Abhishek Bachchan? I mean, I look at my two daughters. One of them is your daughter's age, Aradhya's age. And I'm like, through this whole thing, man, they can't afford to get ill. I mean, even if we get, fallen, it's all right. And this is so much to do with that father-daughter thing. What's your biggest fear, or one of your biggest fears?
I think you just want your children, regardless of their age. Because I see my parents behave like that with me even today. I'm 44. But I think you just want your children to be happy and healthy. And you're willing to turn the world upside down to achieve that. And I think that doesn't change with their age or with yours. And that's the thing you should worry about all the time. There are a lot of other things which can seem trivial compared to these two very important factors. I think as long as your children are happy and they're healthy, you're fine and you've done a fair job as a parent. So that's something that you should stress about.
Just as an aside, I noticed your name in the opening credits as Abhishek A. Bachchan. Is that a new thing from here on? Are you going to keep your dad's name as your middle name in movies or series credits, or is it a one-off? I don't remember if Manmarzia had that because,
No, it didn't. I mean, officially speaking, I think on all legal documents, my name is Abhishek Amitabh Bachchan. As for Indian law, on all my bank documents, etc. So I just thought, why not go for it?
Lovely. I'm going to walk you down memory lane again. It was your dad's 60th birthday, and it also coincided with what was to be at the time the launch of Ranveer, Rajkumar Santoshi's film starring your dad and you. Of course, the film never did get made, but if you remember, your family had hired me as an MC, a compere for that evening.
Yes, we were at the Lalit Hotel.
Absolutely. And you had said to me at the time that you would have been happy to even have a one film run to begin with. And you're really grateful for everything that had come by. Now, 16 or 17 years from then.
Now you know how come you're the MC of it. I was still willing after the Fiza premiere, yaar, mere baare mein bhi kuch acha bolte. Yeah, I still stand by that, man. I still stand by that. I think an actor is very lucky to be able to make one film, let alone survive 20 years and make around 66 films. I think you're blessed, and you have to be filled with humility and gratitude that the audience has found you worthy of making these films. And the actor is very, very lucky if he gets that opportunity.
Now, I'm going to ask you a corollary to that question. Do you see yourself continuing like your great father when you're a senior citizen? I don't mean senior citizen roles like Guru, but when you're actually a senior citizen, will you keep doing this, or would you just say, I'm going to be a sports entrepreneur from here on?
No, I hope I still... the acting is my first love. I hope they still give me a chance to, and they still think me worthy to be able to make films and entertain them at that point of time. I'd love to.
Is there a skill you've worked upon on lockdown? A lot of people say, I picked up some audio software, I learned
what? It's very disappointingly no. I mean, I think there are these hyper achievers who've learned several languages and learned a new gift. I'm like, no, man, I was chilling. I was spending time with my family and I was really happy spending time with them. And I couldn't think of anything better to do than that.
That is a skill.
Yeah, that.
For actors who spend very little time home.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's really wonderful. And the entire family is together. So
yes, thankfully, yes.
Wonderful. You've embraced the OTT life as an actor. There's no doubt about that. But you're going to see Big Bull also on a streaming series. Here's a hypothetical question. If you were producing a mainstream film, I'm not saying series, if you were producing it, would you go with an OTT release, or would you just have waited out for screens to open to release the film?
That's a very tough question, man. That's a very tough question. It's a great question, but it's a tough question. I think the discussion and debate about whether you should make it available to the audience or not immediately or not with safety or not is what is the deciding factor. Currently, the film industry is peering down a very dark hole. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. We don't know when cinemas are going to be functional again. As and when they are functional, our audience is going to show up. If they do show up, what is the showcasing going to be like? Because there's such a huge backlog as well. So we don't really know right now. So keeping that in mind, can we get our product across to the audiences? If not more people than would have come to the theaters within the safety of their home, then I think that's a very viable substitute.
That's Abhishek putting his producer hat on. More to come with Junior Bachchan. Let's do some Banana by Shaggy and Konkara. This is 94.3 Radio 11 World, your station, and my name is Hrishikesh. David Guetta and Asha with a song called Without You. Abhishek Bachchan likes his Asha, of that I'm sure. Breathe Into the Shadows is season 2 of a show starring Amit Saad and Hrishikesh Joshi. Abhishek Bachchan joins the cast and adds so much value. I'm in an interview with Abhishek this morning.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Goldie and Nanu are such dear friends of yours, childhood friends of yours. I know them too, and I've been voicing for them forever when Rose was, actually functioning on a day-to-day basis. And I remember Goldie casting Amit Saad for a TV show called Guns N' Roses, and calling me and saying, come here, take a look at this guy, and I saw a clip in their office in Jew, and I went, man, who's this guy? He's just spectacular. I mean, you know him almost for a decade now.
Yes.
And it's just spectacular what he's done in part one. I know you've seen a little bit of it.
No, I finally managed to see the whole thing.
Oh, you did? Okay, fantastic.
Yes. I've been lucky. I managed to see it, and I've really enjoyed it. And he's an immense talent. The intensity and presence and physical presence and physicality that he brings to Kabir Sawant is praiseworthy. He's done a wonderful, wonderful job.
So here's my question. I mean, it's a cat and mouse game. I mean, I know that you reflect off your co-actor's energy and this and that. What did he bring out in you that wasn't tapped in before? Your character, his character, the way it's built in Breathe 2.
I think because of the hard exterior that he has as the character, he managed to highlight the vulnerability of Avinash Sabharwal a lot more. So he's the perfect foil in that sense. So I think that's what he really managed to do really well for me and made my life a lot easier by doing that.
And you're always somebody who's so enamored, like I am, and like everybody should be, with the writers. To me, what was spectacular with Breathe Season 1 was just the writing of it. I mean, I've seen too little. We were shown only 2 episodes. And I remember Season 1 asked the very important question, can we take lives for our children? In that aspect, in Season 2, the writing, I mean, who are these people? I mean, Mayank, one knows he's the director.
So Mayank is the co-creator with Vikram, but we had a great writing team of Bhavani Iyer, Vikram Tulli and Arshad Saeed, along with Mayank. And they've really, I have said this and I really enjoy saying it, they're the heroes of the show. The depth, the nuance, the complexity, and the detailing that they have brought has made, firstly, my life a lot easier. But they truly are the winners of this, because this medium also lends itself to the writers. Without them, there's nothing. And they've just done a stupendous job. And we're so lucky to have each and every one of them on the show.
So you're saying that every day you would come on and be surprised by what was happening, That must have been a remarkable process.
Their work finished a lot before we started filming. But obviously, you learn to understand the vastness of their talent. When Mayank and I were doing prep for the show and when we were doing our readings, which happened over several months. I mean, just amazing.
I know you've left a part of yourself in all the movies you've done, 20-year career, 3 life-altering performances. If you could pick them out for me. I know it's very difficult. It's like asking a father to choose between his children.
I don't like any of my performances.
Why?
No.
You still look back at Guru and Yuva and say you could do something different?
Oh, yeah.
How?
100%. I could improve them 100%.
How could you improve what he did with Guru Kant Desai?
I think I'm that much more of an evolved actor now, and I feel I have that much more command over my craft that I could have done a far superior job.
Wow. And do you feel that the moment you finish your films, or in retrospect when you watch them?
In retrospect. When you finish it, at that point in time, you've given it your all, as you should. Like right now, I feel in terms of Breathe, I'm happy because I've given it my best, and I feel, okay, this is the best I had in me, and I've given it all, and I'm satisfied. I don't feel I shortchanged my effort in any which way. 6 months, 1 year down the line, when I review it, as I will I come up with better ways to do it? I hope so. That means I'm evolving. That means I'm improving. But I hope I can come up and think that.
Having worked with the legends like Mani Sir and people who are relatively new, who keep you on your toes, like Mayank, for example, could you pick a few talented directors who've left their mark on you? People who
very honestly, they all have. I mean, obviously there's several of them, starting with JP Saab, who gave me a break into the films, and I ended up doing 3 films with him. Obviously, Mani, Ramu. I mean, there's so many of them. Karan. There are a lot of them that have worked with multiple times. But very honestly, I think if you've been a film actor, you will have immense respect for any director who manages to complete a film. Because, I mean, you are the captain of the ship. It is your baby all the way. Cinema is a director's medium. And you just have nothing but respect for any of them, whether I've done 1 film with them or I've done 4 or 5 films with them or whatever. I have immense love and respect for anybody who's managed to complete a film, because it's a very, very difficult thing.
He has so much warmth to give and love to share. The wonderful Abhishek Bachchan, a last leg still to go of this incredible chat. Don't go anywhere. I'm Hrishikesh, and let me play you some Westlife and their version of Billy Joel's Uptown Girl, only on 94.3 Radio on One World, your station. Walk the Moon with Shut Up and Dance, great pop on the show and also great talent and wisdom on the show, courtesy Abhishek Bachchan. If you've loved Bunty or Bubbly, Yuva, Guru, Sarkar, Bluffmaster, Kuch Na Kaho, Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna, Man Marziyan, all these lovely films, you love Breathe Into the Shadows, his latest. That's out tomorrow on Prime Video. His co-stars Nitya Menon Bachchan and Sayami Kher. So yes, he is surrounded by pretty ladies off as well as on screen. Abhishek is a last leg of conversation with me now.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Now, we know that Saimi and you have sport as a commonality, your love for sport.
Yes.
I didn't get to see enough of her because, there were only 2 episodes. What do you make of her? I mean, I thought she was spectacular in Anurag's film, which just happened. Any of her work that you've enjoyed? And what can we watch out for as far as...
I saw her first film, then I saw a Marathi film she had done with Hrishikesh. But I've known her personally, obviously. And yes, our love for sports gave us great conversation off camera. But she so effortlessly slipped into the show because she joined us about 2 months into the shoot. So we'd already kind of gelled with each other and everybody was very comfortable, and she came in and she just slipped in and was so wonderful to work with because she's so pretty, that at times it's very difficult to look beyond just her beauty. But when she starts performing, you realize the delicacy with which she performs, which is so nice. And she had a very, very difficult, complex role to portray, which she was balancing several things at the same time. And she's done it so well, and she does it with such experience. And I feel like telling her that, listen, you've only been an actor, 3-4 years? I mean, when I was 3-4 years old, I don't think I had that kind of command over what I was doing. I admire these actors for how good they are.
After 20 years in the business, there'll be lots of newbies walking onto sets and calling you sir. But
yes.
Are you getting comfortable with that? Or are you still
it's really
looking...
weird because I'm used to being the baby on the set.
Yeah.
I'm used to being the youngest on the set. And suddenly they're like, oh, sir, when Refugee came out, I was in kindergarten. I'm like, get out. I'm kidding. I have no problems with it. I don't treat anybody like that. I mean, if somebody is much my junior, I'm not going to put it in their face. In fact, I enjoy the equality of it. I like the fact that they can come up to me and talk to me and make suggestions to me. And I'm open to that because I think that's how you're going to learn and improve. So I look forward to it.
You're such a massive sport fan now, whether it's kabaddi or it's football that you're involved in as a sports entrepreneur, or even basketball. I mean, I remember going through your feed, and Kobe passed. I could feel the pain there. Learnings from sport, both your own teams or, basketball or other sport that you follow that you've actually instilled into your career. What would that be, Abhishek?
Never give up. Never, ever give up. It ain't over till that last whistle blows. I very fondly, tell people this anecdote of my own team, Chennai NFC. In season number 2 of the ISL, which is 2015, we reached the finals after having
went to the wire.
Bottom of the table. And we faced everything, the Chennai floods, everything. And that team never gave up. And being at the bottom of the table and halfway through the season saying, okay, the season's done. To reach the finals was in Goa against Goa. And we went up 1-0 and Goa equalized. And I think it was the 83rd minute where they scored a beautiful free kick. And I think it was Joffrey who scored a beautiful free kick, and they were up 2-1. Football, finals, playing the home team in a final in their home ground. 83rd minute, they score a goal. It's game, set and match. You're done. And I remember looking at my partner, Vita Dani, and, we would say, okay, we got this far. Let's be proud and take solace in that. The match ended 93rd minute. Chennai NFC won 3-2. Those boys never gave up. They scored 2 goals in less than 10 minutes. It goes to show you they should never give up. You have to believe in yourself. You have to back your talent, and you have to go for it.
Awesome.
So yeah, sports teaches you about leadership. It teaches you about sacrifice. It teaches you about discipline. It teaches you about teamwork. And most importantly, it teaches you never to give up.
Let's close with what's the first thing you're going to do when all is well and the lockdown is finally lifted? What's that first thing you view yourself doing?
Get back to work.
Yeah. Get down to
business.
business.
Can't wait. Get back to work, yeah.
Abhishek Bachchan, we have tremendous love for you, people in the media, because of the person you are, and helps that you're a darn good actor.
Thank you.
I can only wish you love, success, and more love and success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
This was wonderful.
Thank you. Take care. Be safe.
So exciting, that Abhishek Bachchan interview. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did bringing it to you. Here's a new one on the playlist, Aston Marigold with Get Stupid. Right here on 94.3 Radio 1. One World, your station. My name is Hrishi K.